Everyone. Thank you for joining us for another message of hope. Today we have Teresa, and she's going to share with us about her beautiful daughter. And I know many of you know her not only through Compassionate Friends meetings, but also through the silent auction. She did such an awesome job in Orlando. It's just wonderful. Thank you for joining us, Teresa.
Thank you, Debbie, for having me.
So, as you know, Teresa, one thing that we're asking everyone, if you don't mind sharing just a bit, what brought you to Compassionate Friends?
Well, back in April of 2010, my daughter Jessica was killed in a car accident. It's very tragic, something that we as parents never expect to get that phone call, the knock on the door. It's interesting because I think as grieving parents, we become contradictions of ourselves because we're numb, we can feel nothing, and yet we feel everything. Our heart is broken, it hurts. Uh, I found for myself that I didn't think I could go on without her, even though I had my family and other children. I just felt that one was gone and I needed to have her back. So I did go through some very dark times. And then in my darkest moment, Debbie, when I thought that all was lost and I could no longer take the pain, I went online and I said, there's got to be somebody that can help me. And I found Compassionate Friends. I clicked on the link. I spoke to the chapter leader there, and she met me that evening. And she gave me hope in that moment. And what's interesting about hope, and I want to say this, we use the word hope so easily. I hope I get jewelry for Christmas. I hope I get a good grade on my test today. So hope is just a word. When you come to Compassionate Friends, hope has a face, and it's the face of every single person that you look around in that room, in that moment, and you can see the hope on their face, and you know you are in the right place because you will find your hope.
Wow, Teresa. First of all, I'm so sorry about the loss of your daughter, Jessica. And I'm very impressed that you made a call and they called you that evening. My goodness. Many of the people that watch these, they perhaps only know about the Compassionate Friends through Facebook. And Facebook offers a lot of help. But can you also tell us other ways that you think that Compassionate Friends provide some help that helped you perhaps specifically?
I think the most important thing that we go through, or maybe the better word would be having to deal with, is that our family and friends want to offer the support and they do hold us up, but they don't understand because they have not lost their child. And the one thing that Compassionate Friends gives you, besides everything else, is the understanding that everything that you feel inside is very normal. These emotions that we feel, they have felt. And what's even better, what was better for me that I found, was that in Compassionate Friends, I was able to see all different types of people. People that have been on their journey for 10 years, people that were on their journey for 5 years, people that were on their journey for as short a time as I was, for perhaps 6 months. Um, Compassionate Friends made me realize that I could smile again, I could live again, I could be happy again. I don't, I've been in Compassionate Friends now for about 8 years, and I truly believe in this organization with every fiber of my being. And I will send this message to anybody who wants to listen. I don't go to Compassionate Friends anymore because Jessica died. I go because she lived. I do things for Compassionate Friends because in my mind, I can hear her say, "You got this, Mom." And what's interesting, Debbie, is she never said those words to me. I've never remembered Jessica ever saying, "You got this, Mom." But that's my point about compassionate friends allowing me to keep my child alive. I may not be able to touch her, I may not be able to kiss her, but she's here and she's here. She's with me all the time. And without compassionate friends, I would have been completely lost. I think I still would have been floundering. And oftentimes I meet people in the chapters who have been floundering, or I call it white knuckling it, for 2 years or 3 years without going to Compassionate Friends as a group. And they finally say, I can no longer do it on my own. And they find their hope. And as a chapter leader, one of the things that I try to do is I want them to hear the hope in my voice when they call me, and I want them to see the hope in my face when they meet me. And that's what I mean when I say with Compassionate Friends, we are all faces of hope. Each and every.
That's wonderful. And I do believe that too, that we're all faces of hope for others that come behind us. And it's only through those that have gone before us and have shown us the way and let us know what worked for them, what didn't work for them, which may or may not apply to us, that we're able to take it as parents, grandparents, brothers and sisters. So Teresa, anything specific, and you have mentioned hope so many times already, it just is wonderful, but is there any specific message you would like to leave for people?
I would. When you do decide to go to a Compassionate Friends meeting, please give it at least 3 meetings, because the first meeting you walk into, as I said, you are numb. And you are looking around and you're wondering, how are these people smiling or perhaps laughing in that moment when my child just passed and I can think of nothing but wanting to crawl into a ball and just cry my eyes out for days on end, or not even getting out of bed. What happens in Compassionate Friends is magical. And what it does is, you'll go to a meeting, your first meeting, your second meeting, your third meeting, your sixth meeting, and you're still crying and you're still angry, or perhaps still numb. But then one day, you smile, or one day you laugh, or one day you don't cry. And you do that without even thinking. And then you say to yourself, wait a second, I didn't cry today. I laughed today. I smiled today. How did that happen? It happened because of Compassionate Friends. You have to believe in the process. And if you do, and if you believe in the people that sit around you and consider them to be just a different type of family, Compassionate Friends can change your world around. It really can. And you will smile, and you will laugh, and you will enjoy life again.
Oh, thanks, Teresa. That's such a good message for everyone, especially this time of year. You know, it's very difficult, especially for those early in their grief journey, or perhaps those that didn't have support previously. So I just want to close with reminding everyone that we do have our wall of hope. So if you would like to share a picture of your loved one along with your own message of hope, please visit compassionatefriends.org and give your message of hope to others. Thank you, everyone, for joining, and thank you, Teresa, for giving us such a wonderful message.
Thank you, Debbie, for having me. Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Everyone.